You're not confused. You're calibrated incorrectly. If you don't see this soon, you'll keep getting better at things that don't improve your life. There's a quiet system training you what to value every day without you ever noticing. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Let's look at your day. It probably looks something like this. You wake up and one of the first things you do is check your phone. You see notifications, emails, messages, so you respond. Then you start scrolling, maybe through social media or news headlines. You switch tasks from one app to the next. You feel busy, productive even. On the surface, nothing feels wrong. This is just normal, right? But notice something specific. You rarely choose what to focus on. You simply respond to whatever appears in front of you. That isn't direction. That's pure reaction. You're not steering the ship. You're just patching the leaks as they appear. This constant state of reaction feels like progress, but it's an illusion. It keeps you busy, but doesn't necessarily move you forward. Think about it this way. Your day is a series of tiny fires that you're constantly putting out. An email arrives, you put it out. A notification pops up, you put it out. Someone sends you a message, you put it out. By the end of the day, you're exhausted. You've been working hard, but what have you actually built? You've just been managing a crisis that was manufactured for you. The real work, the deep work that moves your life forward, requires you to ignore small fires and focus on building something fireproof. But the system doesn't reward that. It rewards the firefighter, always seen to be busy, always responding. This is the first clue that the normal we're living in isn't really normal at all. It's a system designed to keep you reacting, not creating. You don't lack discipline. You lack control over your attention. So how do we get here? How did our attention become so hijacked? You weren't explicitly told what to value. No one sat you down and said, "Hey, what really matters is responding to notifications within 5 seconds." You were shown, repeatedly, every day. Our brains are learning machines, and they learn through patterns. What gets attention from others gets copied. What gets a reward, like a like or a quick sense of accomplishment, gets repeated. So over time, you learned a set of unspoken rules. Visibility matters. Speed matters. Being seen to be busy matters. Not because these things are inherently valuable or true, but because they are constantly reinforced by the digital environment we live in. Your brain adapted to this environment by prioritizing immediate rewards over long-term goals. Every notification, every like, every message is a tiny hit of dopamine, a small reward that says, "You're doing the right thing. Stay engaged." This conditioning happens silently in the background of your life. It's like a form of invisible training, shaping your behavior and your values without your conscious consent. But here's where it all flips. And this is the part that most people miss entirely. The system that trained you is fundamentally backwards. What actually creates stability, meaning, and true progress in your life is rarely what gets rewarded by this system of constant reaction. Think about it. Deep, meaningful work requires slowness and focus. Gaining clarity requires silence and reflection. Building strong relationships requires presence and undivided attention. Understanding complex ideas requires time and patience. But what do you practice every single day? Speed, reaction, multitasking, constant input. So you get incredibly good at reacting and progressively worse at thinking deeply. You're training for a sprint when life is a marathon. Your mind is being conditioned to value the shallow and immediate, while the deep and meaningful becomes harder and harder to access. You're practicing the exact opposite of what you need to thrive. You didn't choose this. You adapted to it. Your brain is a super efficient survival machine, and it's constantly reading signals from your environment to figure out what's important. In our modern world, the loudest signals are the digital ones. Notifications, messages, updates. Each one flashes and buzzes, screaming at your brain, "This matters right now." So you respond. And each time you do, you get a tiny, satisfying sense of completion. You cleared an email. You answered a message. You checked a notification. But you need to see this very carefully. Completion is not progress. Just because you finished a small task doesn't mean you're moving in the right direction. Reaction is not direction. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're going where you want to go. ambusyness ... is not meaning. You are mistaking the signal for the substance. These false signals of progress keep you trapped in a loop of frantic but meaningless activity. You're running on a hamster wheel, getting more and more tired, but never actually getting anywhere. If you're starting to see this pattern clearly in your own life, stick with me. This is the first step to taking back control. Realizing you're in a system is the only way to start operating outside of it. The writer Yuval Noah Harari put it perfectly when he said, "In a world flooded with irrelevant information, clarity is power." But clarity doesn't come from consuming more information. It doesn't come from reading one more article or watching one more video, hoping for a magic bullet. It comes from stepping back. It comes from creating space. And that is the one behavior that modern life quietly but relentlessly discourages. Silence feels unproductive. Stillness feels like you're falling behind. The system is designed to make you feel anxious when you're not consuming or producing. It wants you plugged in, always on, always available. Clarity requires you to disconnect, but the entire digital world is built to prevent you from ever doing that. This isn't about blaming you for being lazy or having a lack of focus. That's not what's happening. What's happening is conditioning, pure and simple. Your brain has learned a very powerful but flawed equation. If I respond, I stay relevant. If I stay active, I stay valuable. So even when you find a moment of silence, you feel that internal pull, that urge to pick up your phone, to check something, to do something. That feeling isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that the conditioning is working. Stillness now feels unfamiliar, even threatening. It feels like falling behind. Your nervous system has been trained to associate stillness with danger. The danger of being forgotten, of becoming irrelevant, of missing out. So you fill every empty moment with noise and distraction, not because you want to, but because stillness has become uncomfortable. This is why you can feel completely exhausted at the end of the day, yet feel like you've accomplished nothing of real importance. It's why you can feel busy, but fundamentally stuck. Active, but completely unclear on your direction. You feel connected to hundreds of thousands of people online, but deeply unstable and alone. It's because you are constantly engaged, but you are rarely intentional. You spend your days solving the problems that appear right in front of you, the urgent but unimportant things that scream for your attention. You're not solving what truly matters to you. You're a pawn in a game you didn't even know you were playing, reacting to moves made by an invisible player. So what's the way out? You don't need a radical, life-altering overhaul. You don't need to throw your phone in the ocean and move to a cabin in the woods. You just need to introduce small, deliberate interruptions into your routine. Start with something incredibly simple. Tomorrow morning, before you open your phone, just pause. For 1 minute. Before you instinctively reply to a message, just wait. Sit still for 2 minutes with no input. No music, no podcasts, no screens. Just be still and observe the powerful urge to react. Feel that pull. Notice that anxiety. That moment of observation is where your control starts returning. In that tiny gap between the stimulus and your response, you find your freedom. It's not about winning a war against distraction. It's about noticing you're on a battlefield in the first place. Nothing about your life is fundamentally broken. You are not a failed project, but your priorities, they may not actually be yours. They were shaped by the environment around you. They were repeated until they became automatic. They were reinforced by a system that profits from your attention. And eventually, they were absorbed so deeply that you came to believe they were your own. But the moment you see the pattern, you can no longer mistake the noise for a real signal. You stop mistaking reaction for meaning. You start to see the difference between moving and moving forward. This awareness is the key. It's the beginning of recalibrating yourself, not to the world's frantic pace, but to your own internal compass. Thank you for watching. Follow for more ways to reclaim your focus.